Animal Crossing New Horizons is already at the top of the Nintendo Switch 2 charts, and it's probably going to launch a day early. Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new Animal Crossing video. We are now only a few days away from the long-awaited Animal Crossing New Horizons 3.0 update, as well as the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of the game. Naturally, I think we're all pretty keen to know exactly when this free update will launch on Nintendo Switch, and when exactly the upgrade pack for the Nintendo Switch 2 edition will be available. So let's take a look. But first, if you enjoy the content here, please leave a like on the video and be sure to comment what the first thing is you hope to do when the 3.0 update launches later this week. And without further ado, let's jump straight into today's video. Now, I'm not going to bore you with a recap of the 3.0 update. We all know by this point what's been announced, and I think we're all pretty excited. So pretending we're all caught up, let's discuss when this is launching and when we can expect it to actually become available and go live. Now, officially, Nintendo have stated the release date is January 15th, 2026, so in like 2 or 3 days time, depending on when and where you're watching this, and this is the universal release date currently stated across all regions. But that's actually pretty vague, so let's dig a little deeper. Now, unless Nintendo do something completely different than they have been, Nintendo typically launch and distribute updates, including Animal Crossing New Horizons updates at 10 AM local time in Japan on the release date, which would mean the 3.0 update would go live for Switch owners 10 AM January 15th in Japan and subsequently go live everywhere else in the world at the same time, which means some countries would actually get access to the update a day early. So assuming this happens and the 3.0 update drops in line with their usual schedule, here are the times the update will likely go live. Here in the UK, we're probably looking at 1 AM in the morning on the 15th, so a bit of an early one. Germany 2 AM, Australia between 9 AM and noon, depending on your time zone, New Zealand at 2 PM on the 15th, so a slightly later one, and in the US, you're probably going to get it on the 14th, between 5 PM and 8 PM, depending on your time zone, so a day early. Now, this is how Nintendo typically pushes out content updates and is in line with most of the previous Animal Crossing New Horizons updates and patches too, so I think it's a pretty safe bet. But before you click away, we have to consider that the Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 edition is also releasing on the 15th, and this could change things if Nintendo are looking for a seamless launch where everything drops at the same time. This would stop those playing the Nintendo Switch 2 edition and essentially getting 3.0 update content before the 3.0 update drops for everyone else, assuming the launch version of the Switch 2 edition is 3.0 and doesn't need a patch itself, but we'll talk more about that in a second. In which case, if Nintendo want the 3.0 update to launch the moment the Nintendo Switch 2 edition is available, this changes things and actually means pretty much everyone will get the game and update a day early. This is because game launches on the eShop are typically available the moment the first time zone hits midnight on the launch date, which is of course New Zealand. So if Nintendo decide actually let's drop everything the moment the Nintendo Switch 2 edition goes live, here are the times the update will likely go live. Obviously New Zealand first at midnight on the 15th, which pushes everyone back, with the US getting it as early as 3 AM Pacific to 6 AM Eastern on the 14th. Here in the UK, likely 11 AM on the 14th, so the morning before launch day. Germany, noon. Australia between 7 PM and 10 PM on the 14th, so the night before, depending on your time. And Japan actually one of the last at 8 PM on the 14th, so again, the day before. Now, this is how Nintendo typically pushes out new games on launch day. So realistically, given Nintendo themselves haven't specified an exact time and just run with the worldwide release date of January 15th, 2026, it all depends on whether the 3.0 update goes live like normal or whether they tie it to the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. And of course, there's every possibility they could do them separately too, and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition goes live at midnight in New Zealand and the 3.0 update goes live a few hours later that afternoon. Either way, most regions can expect to access both the 3.0 update and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition early, with players in the US likely being the earliest at some point on the 14th, no matter when Nintendo decide to release everything. Now, just one tiny caveat we touched on earlier. The most likely scenario is that actually the Nintendo Switch 2 edition launches with only the Switch 2 content, like the megaphone and stuff, and then needs the 3.0 content update such as the hotel as a day one patch. This is basically what happened at the initial launch too, so both of these would be correct for the corresponding launches. This would allow Nintendo to launch the game at midnight in New Zealand, like the second column, and then the full 3.0 update patch later in the day, like the first column. The reason this is likely the case is because the box art of the Nintendo Switch 2 edition has surfaced online already, and there's no sign of the 3.0 update content on the back of the box itself, so nothing about the hotel being a thing. Only the Nintendo Switch 2 content, which suggests it's not even on the cart yet, which actually kind of sucks for preservation, but that's a whole different thing. So the release times also kind of depend on whether the 3.0 update content is on the cart or not. Either way, the official launch of the 3.0 update is January 15th, 2026, but will likely drop up to a day early for most regions, which is pretty exciting and means one way or another it's actually closer than we think. Of course, this is all a best guess based on past trends, but if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to post launch in the comments just to let me know you did, and be sure to include when you think it will go live and which villager you hope to decorate a hotel room for first. I'd love to know. Thank you so much to the Patreon and channel members. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.